Developing news tonight from Effingham County. A man accused of killing his niece pleads guilty and will spend the rest of his life in prison.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jaleesa Paramore.
And I'm Maggie Hockenberry. This news was announced just after 2 this afternoon.
22-year-old Justin DeRike has pleaded guilty to the stabbing death of his 7-year-old niece, Willow Long. In court today, DeRike pleaded guilty to committing first-degree murder with the intent to kill. The Effingham County Court ruled that DeRike will spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. DeRike has been held in custody since he confessed to the murder hours after Long's body was located. Effingham County State's Attorney Brian Kibler says DeRike's sentencing is the maximum allowed by law.
We weren't going to settle for anything else than that because that's what the case warranted, natural life without the possibility of parole. And he pled guilty because he was guilty, and the evidence was overwhelming because law enforcement was great.
DeRike says he killed his niece to put her out of her misery because she fell in a brush pile and pierced her neck. Thousands of volunteers came forward to assist in the September 2013 search efforts for the child.
Thanks, Derek. The primary race is almost over for candidates running for office here in Illinois. Polls opened at 6 this morning, and residents and students wasted no time to cast their ballots.
Well, I traveled to a local poll here in Charleston, where I learned today that though the names on the ballots have changed, the amount of voters have not.
Teutopolis Unit 50 teachers confirmed they will strike Friday. The Teutopolis Education Association and school board officials have been negotiating since the start of the school year. The two sides have met twice with a federal mediator, but nothing was resolved. The TEA is demanding what they call a fair salary schedule. Superintendent Bill Fritcher says he hopes the two sides will meet again before Friday, but a meeting date hasn't been determined. A local principal has pleaded guilty to domestic battery. Former Arthur Levington Jr. and senior high school principal Brian Hatfield was sentenced to what's called conditional discharge Friday. This means as long as Hatfield pays court fines and fees and also attends counseling, he won't receive further punishment. Court records say Hatfield was accused of battering his wife at an Urbana convenience store January 8th. Hatfield resigned from his position in January. And another school official is dismissed from his position after being accused of sexual misconduct with a minor. Oblong Unit 4 School District is parting ways with Robert Yaley, who's facing the charges in Morgan County, Indiana. The decision was made at last night's meeting, and Superintendent Jeffrey Patchett says Yaley was on leave before the decision. The Oblong School District will continue to use a substitute teacher until they can fill the position. Yaley was the former Oblong High and Elementary School's band instructor. Tonight's Health Watch. Champaign public health officials are trying to take smoking out of the equation in apartment complexes. Officials are pushing local landlords to ban smoking in apartments they lease. They say the ban would improve the health of the residents who are exposed to secondhand smoke from their neighbors. The Public Health District is offering landlords information about how to amend leases, along with acquiring smoke-free signs for their property. The Charleston City Council wants to change a rule regarding drugs. Charleston Mayor Larry Reynolds says the city's current drug ordinance needs to be adjusted to also include synthetic drugs. He says if the drugs are synthetic, they may not be banned in the current ordinance. Reynolds says the new ordinance would include fines for manufacturing and possession. The City Council will discuss the proposal tonight, but the issue won't be voted on until April 1st. Some windy and rainy conditions could be moving into the viewing area.
Skywatch local forecaster Derek Jackson returns next with a look at what's to come for Charleston, Paris, Marshall, and all the area next.
Today, temperatures will fall to around 49 degrees. So, all in all, not too bad for the next 7 days.
Mother Nature just seems to be taking us for a ride. First the colder temperatures, then warm, now rain.
Yeah, well, the good news is no snow.
Thanks, Derek. Still to come, the search area keeps expanding for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
Also, with the sweep of his pen, President Vladimir Putin adds Crimea to the map of Russia. U.S. leaders say the move is a blatant violation of international law. Details coming up. Thanks for watching. This is News Watch on WEIU.
Thanks, Nate. Well, we enjoyed warmer temperatures and sunny skies today, but a chance of rain is in the forecast. Skywatch's Derek Jackson will return with a full Skywatch report.
But first, the newest member of the Milwaukee Brewers is safe at his new home. Thanks for watching. This is News Watch on WEIU.
Finally, on this Tuesday, taken in by the Brewers' stray dog, Hank, is safe at his new home. The team's celebrity canine arrived in Milwaukee on a plane filled with team sponsors and employees returning from Arizona. Hank, thought to be a Bichon Frise, walked on to the Brewers' spring training complex in Phoenix last month. Members of the organization took turns taking care of Hank while they looked for the owner. No one came forward, so the family of a team executive in Milwaukee will take in Hank for good. The dog made its Miller Park debut earlier today when official Hank attire was unveiled. We appreciate you spending part of your evening with WEIU.
And still to come later tonight at 7, Ed Sullivan's top performers from 1966 to 1969.
And that'll be followed by Smarter Brains. What is intelligence and how do we get it?
Have a good night, and thanks for joining us. And join us again tomorrow here on the area's only local newscast on PBS.